He'd be okay with like overturning the Second Amendment probably. Like I think he would much rather prefer like nobody have guns at all.
When you're so exclusive with who you give interviews to, it's like the ones you pick, like, will just say exactly what you want them to, you know?
It's so interesting, but I want to know who they are because I'll listen to those people.
They're just like puppets, though.
I think reporters who will like paint, like who we know will paint the narrative the way we want.
So that's why you pick the journalists that you pick, because they'll say whatever you want them to.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, they won't paint it in a bad light, you know?
Well, we'd like to introduce you to Special Assistant Luke Borwegan, who told us, quote, everyone wants a story on Fetterman.
Because like everybody wants a story about John Fetterman, and we only give it to certain people.
Well, leave it to the O'Keefe Media Group to bring you that story.
That's like if you have, I mean, like, and they also realize is that now.
James O'Keefe with OMG here in our nation's capital to report on a story involving U.S. Senator John Fetterman. Associates, colleagues, constituents have long been fascinated with Fetterman's mental and cognitive issues. Everyone wants a story on John Fetterman. Well, we'd like to introduce you to Special Assistant Luke Borwegan, who told us, quote, everyone wants a story on Fetterman. Well, leave it to the O'Keefe Media Group to bring you that story.
Like my job is like to be like the in-between between him and the rest of the staff. I have like an iPad I carry around, which like live transcribes everything everyone's saying. But sometimes it misses stuff, or like it'll just cut out based on like, you know, self-service and shit. My job is to hold the iPad there, so like he can pick up on everything they're saying. So I have to strong arm these journalists, and like that's not my job, but like there's so many reporters, and like the reporters like we shouldn't just be telling them to off. Like if they're reporters we like it's good to have a good relationship with them. We have our press operation is like a work of art, like the way that like reporters, we can tell them to go themselves and they can't do anything because they need us more than we need them, because like everybody wants a story about John Fetterman, and we only give it to certain people. And I think reporters who will like paint, like who we know will paint the narrative the way we want. So it's like when John checks himself in for depression, we tell one reporter in particular, because like they will hit the facts that we want them to. And it's like we pick reporters who like we know will give us like a good treatment.
They're desperate for an interview with John. I mean, like, doesn't mean they're bad reporters, but like, if you want to access journalism is?
No.
It's like reporters who will basically tell whatever story like their subject wants, as long as they get the interview. Like, there's certain like Trump journalists who are accused of that because like everybody wants an interview with the guy.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing, when you're so exclusive with who you give interviews to, it's like the ones you pick like will just say exactly what they want them to, you know? Like,
So that's why you pick the journalists that you pick, because they'll say whatever you want them to.
yeah, pretty much. Like, they won't paint it in a bad light, you know?
Borwegan, special assistant to John Fetterman, says that they pick journalists that will, quote, say exactly what the you want them to. He also says that the journalists are puppets. He actually names the journalists, including Kara Swisher and the group Pod Save America, behaving like puppets for the John Fetterman campaign.
Did you see that Joe Scarborough interview?
Who?
Joe Scarborough?
Joe Scarborough?
Yeah, Scarborough, like, you ever heard of, like, Morning Joe?
Morning, is that a guy that you guys did an interview with?
Yeah, and he actually sucks. Pod Save America, it's like these former Obama, Pod Save America, like podcasts.
Oh, Pod Save America?
Yeah, like they're these former Obama staffers.
Okay.
Who like, they were like one of the first big political podcasts. I think they are like the number one political podcast in the country. Just because like they've had it for like 10 years and like built a brand on it before anybody else had podcasts.
Yeah.
We did an interview with them post-stroke. like a month out from the election,
Okay.
and they did really well.
Because you knew they would go along with what you wanted.
Oh yeah.
So who are those
Ross-
journalists that you guys like?
We have an interview with Time.
Time?
Time magazine. Yeah. Okay. There's this like tech reporter who is also has like veered into political stuff, and her name's Kara Swisher, and she like has multiple podcasts that I listen to like every single day.
Kara
Kara Swisher. She's like one of the best.
Is she one of the ones that has interviewed Fetterman though? It's so interesting, but I want to know who they are because I'll listen to those people.
They're just like puppets though.
Politicians in Washington are often loath to reveal their actual positions on matters of public policy. John Fetterman and his campaign staff are no exception. Luke Borwegan sheds light on the matter, discussing the views on firearms that his boss has and his boss owns, while also revealing John Fetterman's true intention to ban the Second Amendment. This raises concerns about the future of the United States of America, including what other constitutional amendments that the Congress critters want banned. Luke Borwegan, special assistant to John Fetterman, says that they would be okay with, quote, like probably overturning the Second Amendment.
100% for gun control. All
Like
the time.
red flag laws?
Oh yeah.
Hell
red
yeah.
Flags, banning automatic rifles, like all that shit. Like,
I love that.
he owns like a lot of guns.
Does he own the guns that he's trying to ban?
No. Not like automatic, like shotgun. Like I'm sure.
Yeah. So what exactly will he try to ban?
Assault weapons ban. Like he'd be okay with like overturning the Second Amendment probably. Like I think he would much rather prefer like nobody have guns at all.
So he would be for like completely just removing the Second
You're not
Amendment
voting,
thing.
Nick, right?
Anything?
Voting, Nick, right?
Oh God, no.
Very specific question.
Honesty is so important in the United States of America. If we do not have informed consent, if we do not have actual information that's unfiltered, unprejudiced, unbiased, and uncensored, we simply don't have the information required for us to elect our representatives, and therefore we cannot actually have freedom. Freedom itself becomes an illusion without access to unfettered, no pun intended, information. We want you to wear a camera and follow the footsteps of this brave journalist who recorded this aid, who got him to be honest, who got him to say what he really thinks and what he actually believes, and nothing could be more important to that. So if you want to do this, go to the O'Keefe Media Group website, fill out our JOT form, we'll ship you a camera, we'll send you in the field, and we'll give you $1,000 to unearth this sort of information. Stay tuned for the next drop tomorrow when I personally show up to Luke Borwegan's table wearing blue-collar gear. Stay tuned and subscribe to O'KeefeMediaGroup.com to support this work, to support the First Amendment and our right to tell these stories. See ya.